My hands are zip tied behind my back. There's a bag over my head. I'm in the back of a pickup truck and I have no idea where they're going to take me. 48 hours ago, I signed up for this weekend of learning how to build a fire, set up a shelter in the woods. I was very, very wrong. This is the story of the hardest 45 hours of my life. And the one thing it taught me that changed how I show up every day. And it's this idea of it's you against you. So there's this thing called the Commando Experience in Penticton. It's 45 hours. And I'd signed up for it because I wanted to learn survival skills. I thought, I don't really have very many survival skills. If the apocalypse happens, I'm probably going to get eaten first by the zombies. I thought it would be good to learn some of these skills. And it was close. And so I signed up for it. I also convinced my brother, my dad, my son, and my brother's son. So there was 5 of us. And so I'll set the stage for you. So we show up to this thing. First thing they say is, okay, we have to park your car. Give us your phone, your keys. We can't have keys to our car. Your watch. Can't have any food in the bag. They say, don't worry. We'll take care of your food. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. And so we give them to them. Then they say, okay, take this map. It's one at a time. I want you to run up this hill and you're going to go see some guys, go talk to them. And it's like, okay, I said, I'll go first. Cause like, why not? Like, I'm excited. I'm going to learn survival skills. And so I go running up the hill and I see these guys and it's a pickup truck and they're all dressed in combat fatigues. And when I get to them, they yell at me to run faster. I'm getting kind of tired here. I don't do a lot of cardio. I lift weights. So anyway, I get to them and they're like, hey, show us on the map where we are. And I have no idea where we are on the map. This is like not an easy map to read. So then the next thing I know, they're like, kneel down on the ground, point at the map where you are. And next thing you know, I'm getting zip tied, bags over my head. I'm throwing the back of my pickup truck. And I'm laying there going, oh my God, my brother, my dad, he's going to kill me. He has no idea. Like, I didn't know this was part of it. And he definitely didn't know this was. And so throughout this entire weekend, we had basically, it was 45 hours, hardly any sleep. They gave us one MRE, that's like those military meals at about hour 30. And there was a lot of lessons that I picked up from this. I did a podcast with this guy, Jeff Malik, who runs this thing. He's a former SAS guy. It turns out it was the hardest civilian boot camp in Canada. Didn't know that when I signed up. Probably should have done a little bit more research. But in any case, I remember there was one point, especially when we had still the bags on our head. And the whole idea was to mess with your head, to get you to realize, A, you have more than you think, to try and to mess with you mentally to see if you're going to break or if you're going to continue to just show up. And I did break at one point. I got very close to breaking, but that's a story for another day. So I remember at one point they had us with these bags on our heads and they're making us hold a rock out in front of us until our shoulders are pumped till you couldn't hold it up anymore. And I remember thinking I wanted to look around and see what everybody else was doing because I kind of sized up everybody that was there. There was 8 of us. And I was like, okay, one guy's like Captain America. Definitely not going to beat him, but I'm like, how am I going to do? And in my head, it was weird because normally when you're doing exercise or the gym, you're always kind of looking to other people and we're measuring ourselves against other people. And in this case, I was like, you can't. And it was like, oh, I guess it doesn't much matter. And so I had that realization that it's just me against me. It's you against you. And I have a coach who gives me workout programs, Nate, and he always says this, it's you against you. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just do your own thing. And that lesson got burned into my brain that weekend. And the thing is, if you can go to this thing, it doesn't matter how fit you are, you have a limit. And the whole idea is to push you to the limit that you think you have and make you realize that you probably have capabilities that are 30, 40, 50% further than that. The whole reason I'm sharing this story is not because it's to do with mortgages. It's that it's a life lesson that you can apply. So talking to mortgage brokers on a coaching call recently, and if somebody's feeling frustrated because they're like, well, I'm not as far ahead as this person, but you don't know their life. You're looking at them going, how are they doing so well? Maybe they don't have little kids to take care of. Maybe they're working 60 hours a week. Like, you have no idea. And so when we measure against other people, we can lead to a lot of frustration. I think it's a poison. It would lead to frustration instead of measuring against you and what you're capable of. And instead of focusing on what other people are doing, focus on, am I pushing as hard as I can? Am I giving everything that I have to this that I'm doing? Am I making all the calls that I need to make? Am I, working that file every which way to try to find a solution? Am I doing the follow-ups like I'm supposed to be doing? Or am I just looking to other people on social going, well, they look like they got it easier? I can tell you this. I was talking to one of our brokers. She does a couple hundred mortgages a year. And she was saying that in the last 6 weeks alone, she's lost 150,000 in deals. And she's still having a good year. She's actually up over last year. Now, maybe you lost that many in deals, but she says, I let myself feel it for 2 seconds. I go, that sucks. And then I move on to the next client. Because what can happen is if you start focusing on that, it's going to screw up the next 3 or 4 or 5 deals. We are all going to lose files. And the person who you think is doing way more volume, they're losing more files than you, right? I would tell you that the key thing to focus on is you want to be you against you. So I want to focus on, how do I improve? And don't let myself get frustrated by what's going on in the marketplace. I need to just be like, am I genuinely showing up and doing everything I can to improve my business? Because one of the things I've seen as well is that some of the new people right now in the business, they're doing fantastic because they don't know what it was like. They don't know what it was supposed to be like. And so they're just doing it. And so when I see people in the business for 20 years looking around going, this sucks, it's so hard. And other people are like, it is what it is. And so I hope you find that useful as a thought experiment. The next time that you're tempted to compare your production, your fitness, to someone else, you can use it for inspiration, but don't use it as a measuring stick. It's just going to lead to a bad place in your mind, and you're better off to just be focused on what you can do and what you can control, and realize that everybody's at their own place. Hope you find that useful. Hey, I'm Scott Peckford. This is the I Love Mortgage Brokering podcast, and our goal is to bring you episodes each week to help you with your mortgage business. Hopefully you find this useful. As I always say, I will see you on the next episode.